Thank you, dear panelists, for joining me on stage. I'm excited to talk about more like the concrete side of how can we get money, right? And what are the gaps? Because we need to go granular about the different gaps that are missing into money. I have the chance to be joined by Karumba. Karumba, thank you so much.
Most welcome.
You are our expert in investment readiness, and the entrepreneurs in the room will have the chance to interact with you. We'll discuss more about what you see in gaps, do's and don'ts for accessing financing. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
I have with me as well Victor. Victor, you are the CEO of Duhqa, a logistics platform that helps retailers to get access to supplies, sell and deliver. And we are very, very grateful for you to be here because thanks to this partnership, we'll be able to fulfill the vision that Elizabeth mentioned earlier of access to markets. And we'll be talking more about that and about how you can create revenues through a platform. Thank you so much for joining us. And then I have Joylena. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the business development manager at Workpay, and same as Duhqa, Workpay is going to be a partner of Maina Capital, helping the entrepreneurs in the room to be able to structure better their human resource management and payroll. And I'm excited to hear more about what you know about the challenges in that topic and how your tools and your softwares can bridge on that. Thank you so much for joining us. And finally, last but not least, Beatrice. Beatrice, thank you for again representing ABSA here and discussing more about when you are on this side of the table receiving applications, loan applications. Where do you see the issues and how you can advise entrepreneurs better today so that they can access loans from ABSA? Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. So I'll jump right into it with you, Karumba. So you're focusing on investment readiness and credit readiness. So I'd love to have you take on this first discussion, explaining where are the gaps that you see with SMEs most of the time, and in particular with SMEs that could be led by women, and how do you support them in this journey of accessing financing? Where do you see, what documents, what advice do you provide them?
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here. My name is Karumba Kinyua. I run a firm called PineHill Consulting, where we are involved in investor readiness, training, coaching, and mentoring of entrepreneurs along several, let me call just them verticals. But I want to dive right into your answer. What are the usual gaps in funding? The first one I see is failure to articulate value. A lot of people don't know that when you value a business, you're looking at the cash flow it can give you right into the future. And therefore, even if your idea is looking weak, small, doesn't have legs, knees, and hands, it's just like a small baby who one day could be the queen of the world. And therefore, that has value. And you know, as you raise funding, then you're not confident. You don't value ideas, you don't think it's valuable. And the example I like giving is the guy who said, maybe we can have something called, we can send money through mobile phone. And that sounds crazy, but today is a reality. So as you raise money, whether with a banker, whether it's equity, think of all the future cash flows that will ever come from your business. The other big thing I'm seeing is asking for less. Investors come tell me, entrepreneurs come tell me, I need to grow my business. In fact, we've just been doing mock pitching for raising capital for a big investors conference coming up next month. And people are asking for 10 million, 5 million. And I'm asking them, what will 10 million do for you? Because the reason you'll join such a program like Maina Capital is so that you move at least beyond your county. And if that's to happen, you need massive capital. So don't just think what you need now. Think about what you need next year but one, at least for the next 5 years, so that you don't spend all the money and then you get stuck. And that money that is raised is given in tranches. So you can be given the first 50 million, 100 million, even the bank, when you get a loan, they don't write you the check everything first day. You meet certain milestone and get funded. of course, is the formalization also is a very big thing. A lot of us are into hobbies. We don't think that our business, we want, I'm telling every entrepreneur I'm coaching that I'm praying upate grace ya kuvuka border. Yeah, so that you are even beyond Kenya. Simnasikia mambo ni matatu. What is option 2? Yeah, you move out. So that now you'll be getting a dollar income, which would be great for you. So please understand that. Let me just repeat that. See how you could grow and the potential you could be in your small idea. Because even small ideas, big boys and girls were once children. Number 2, understand the value that you bring on the table. Because it's not just money. You have connections, you have experiences. Like if you are a lady who's brought up a child, you've done something I can't do. And you organization, planning, forward thinking. And that's useful experience. You may not say that I'm a CEO of my home, but what are the skills you can draw from that? And, that makes you quite resilient. Then please always ask for more than you think you need. If you need 10 million, ask for 15. And then please also don't ask for money in a hurry. Somebody tells me, oh, Karumba, it's you. You're speaking on phone. I need money. When? I needed it yesterday. And if you can't make it yesterday, by today morning. Nobody gives money easily. It takes a long time to raise funding. And paradoxically, it's raise money when you don't need it. When you are like successful, like her, I'm sure banks like Dr. Esther, banks are begging her, can we bank you? And I'm sure ABSA does a lot not to lose your prime client. So and that is countercultural. You go and approach your banker, if it's ABSA or anyone else, you approach me when you need money. Sometimes I don't have enough time. You need at least 6 to 1 year, as the banker told us, to raise capital. And there, when you're not panicking, like I normally see in relationships, no one likes somebody who is desperate, isn't it? Even funders don't like desperate people because desperate people lead to desperate outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karumba. Desperate people lead to desperate outcome. That's a quote. And I think it's going to tie really well with what we're going to discuss with Beatrice. Because now, as the woman with the money in the room, maybe you can share with us how difficult it is to give money out, right? It requires trust, it requires confidence, and you receive hundreds or thousands of applications every month. So share with us maybe the challenges that you see in those applications and how entrepreneurs can work on their business, their documentation to fulfill and be able to be successful with ABSA.
Okay, thank you so much, Melanie, and good afternoon, everyone. So glad to be here. Businesses, and especially SMEs. We all told we are the brain and butter of this economy. This conversation has been going on for so long, and so you'd expect it's very easy for you to walk into a bank and get funding. However, the opposite is true. Rarely, and most people get frustrated so many times when they go to a bank to get money. And I think over the years, I've been a banker, and specifically in business for now close to 15 years or more. And the stories are the same, and especially with our SME businesses, the one biggest challenge we see every day is throughput. And I think I'm emphasizing just what Dr. Moshemi said, something that she's done, it's proven. When you don't channel your cash flows into a bank account, into a channel that the bank can see, it becomes such a challenge to get any kind of support. Because a bank works with documents, yeah? You know your business, you know what it's been making. If you don't channel it somewhere where you can bring the documents to a bank and they review that, then it becomes impossible to assist you. Secondly, I know this was big during COVID, CRB. We borrowed, we were not able to pay, and then we started blaming the bank, we are not lending because credit scoring is an international thing. It does not only happen in Kenya. So the moment you take that, you must be able to pay it. And we all know entrepreneurs, and we know our businesses. There are challenges. I'm telling you, I know for an entrepreneur, and you'll bear me witness, every day is a new challenge. So you will wake up in the morning and you'll find whatever you planned is not working. That supplier you gave goods has not paid you. So where this cash flow is going to come from to pay this debt? You already took the debt. And we encourage people so many times, and that is why ABSA, we call it a relationship bank. Come to your bank. Dr. Moshemi used a very good word. Do not ghost your bankers. Walk into your bank, have that discussion. I'll tell you, during COVID, we were able to restructure and give moratoriums to a lot of our clients to be able to give them an easier way to pay the debt, longer. We were looking at what can you pay now. Do you want moratorium on your principal so that you service the interest? And once your business picks up, then you're able to pay. And for this, I'll tell you, we did not get a lot of impairment in our books during COVID. But this is only help that happened to the customers who came to us and spoke to us and were able to do that. These people now have good credit scoring. Actually, our SME book grew double digits, even during COVID, because the kind of relationship we have with these clients, we know even if something happens and they walk into the bank, we're able to do something and to, restructure the debt. So please make sure you're able to pay your debt, and if you're not able to, talk to your banker so that you find an easier way of paying it. Because, and especially I'll talk to CRB in our country in Kenya, those records stay in your report for 7 good years. Yeah? So even after you pay that debt, everyone will be asking you, so what happened here? What happened here? And when you keep on having that conversation, it's even tiring. Can you imagine something that happened to you 7 years ago, and you're still talking about it 5 years down the line? Something you've even moved, and maybe you've grown your business to Dr. Moshemi's, magnitude, but you're still talking about a mobile loan of 10,000 you did not pay 5 years ago. So treat CRB reports with the importance they deserve. It's very, very important. And then the other thing I thought about is knowing your business and having your systems in place, having the proper management, think succession planning. SME businesses, we are the manager, we are the driver, we are the accountant, we are the logistics manager. Can we plan to have the proper people in your business? And in this day and age, you do not even have to have these people permanently, because of course when you're starting your business, you don't have the muscle to have all these resources in your business. You have Mr. Kinyua here who can assist you in planning, accounting, cash flow management. You have you can hire external logistics. You have Bolt. You have all these things are available for us. Yeah, but if you don't have them in place, if you're not able to say with certainty that I am not the sole person taking care of this business, because then you're not even able to show continuity of that business. Yeah. So it is very, very important that when the bank gives you a loan today and you're supposed to pay that loan over 7 years, there must be some kind of sustainability. If God forbid you drop dead tomorrow, the bank doesn't want to start selling your property or thinking. Show that you're also including your children. If it's a family business, you're empowering them so that they're able to take over from you. If you don't have children, have people, start small, but also hire people in places that can assist you. And also hire people who have your vision in mind. Yeah? Because if they don't have your vision, well, we all know what happens to these businesses when you have people who are not walking in the same direction you're moving, because they're thinking of how they can fill your business so that theirs can grow. I think I'll stop at those 3 things. There are so many things, but Dr. Moshemi spoke to them so well. So.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. And I like this. There are 2 aspects that I will emphasize on your speech. There is the part on the relationship building and the second part on the processes. And allow me to just share a bit of my journey here as an entrepreneur even. So the relationship building, this is something I've learned a bit too late as I was doing fundraising. When we started to fundraise our pre-seed round for Melanin Capital, so for both equity and debt and grants, what I did is I prepared my documents fantastically. It looked really good. I had a really nice speech. I had a very nice financial statements, and I had a very nice template email that I sent to 800 investors. And every time I would go into the room, I talked to around 150 of them into a virtual room over a period of 12 months, and I would tell my story. I would be very eager. I would explain everything that we can do and so on. And most of the time, they would come back to me and say, "This is interesting, but we're not sure about Africa, or we're not sure about climate, or we're not sure about fintech, or we're not sure about this, and that." And the reason why they're not sure is because they don't know you. They've not taken the chance of sitting down, understanding your deeper aspirations, your vision, the people you know, the people you partner with, the type of, they've not seen your financials or your bank accounts where they can see that there's no funds that you have used to pay school fees or to pay your last dress and so on. So there's still that time where they're not sure if they should trust you with their money. And at the end of the day, lending, borrowing and raising funds, it's all about trust. And as soon as we all understand that it's not a full science and it's not just mathematics and documents, but it's all about people and do they trust you, then I think this is where we can go very far and start converting a lot of investors and lenders into actual capital being disbursed. And the second part that you mentioned is processes. And for us as small business owners, as you said, we're doing everything, the cleaning, everything you can think of in the business. And today, and especially in Kenya, we have the chance of having softwares, tools, and platforms that can actually simplify, make it even cheaper and more efficient for our businesses. And I want to take it on to Victor because Beatrice mentioned also the importance of logistics and efficiency in your business. And Duhqa, when you started this company, you focused in a very strong problem already that you've identified from SMEs, and it helped those SMEs to grow and to get to the level that they can increase their revenues and get access to credit. So can you maybe share a bit more about how your business is enabling that?
Thanks, and nice to be here. So when we started Duhqa is basically a tech company that connects small businesses to, in this case, pop shops to manufacturers. The main reason is because you need those goods to be able to resell. Then we focused on the 40 percentile mass market, which is the people who live under $2 a day. And it was a logistics supply chain issue that we are trying to sort out, which is getting goods from manufacturer to the retailer, then the retailer can sell. Then we later realized the problem was bigger. There was issues of financing, there was issues of procurement, data even. There was issues of also finding the right having the right infrastructure, especially to slums, to be able to deliver to them. And so people spoke about pivoting. So we pivoted over a period of time to now become a supply chain organization that is in 3 sectors, which is procurement, logistics, and financing. And to your point, when you start a business, and many people have spoken, even banks, you won't find somebody who's readily going to give you credit or give you money to finance your business. And so the reason why we have a financing component. But most importantly, and what kills many SMEs, people think it's lack of finances. It's not. It's actually lack of a need in the market. So if you've already achieved that need, and one of the big ones that you can always do is food, of course people will always eat, is how do you then leverage on partnerships, not trying to do everything alone. An SME will probably try to think, how can I do logistics? How can I do find books of my company, and it goes on and on. The biggest challenge with that is that you end up splitting yourself too thin to be able to do anything meaningful, and things fall through the cracks. So what Duhqa really supports you to do is, at the convenience of your home, you can order goods that you need. Then, if you don't have money, don't worry too much about it, especially if you have, worked with us before in terms of transaction history. We can give you that financing through Melanin Capital. And as you'll notice, as my colleagues in Absa mentioned, they're not going to just give you money when you walk into the account, to the bank the first time. So Duhqa steps in through partners like Melanin Capital, can then partner with Absa to be able to give you that strength and leverage that you need to be able to not get the money, but get what you need to sell, which is the inventory. And then once you sell, you repay. That way you're growing your business, and also you're growing your transaction history. The unfortunate thing, and I think that's where banks struggle, is that customers are paying you in cash. There's a tendency to want to keep that cash, and then force the person who's coming to bring you inventory to also get cash. What we say is that put that money in a digital wallet. We can help you with that. And these will be important data to the banks and Melanin Capital to be able to support you with that. And over time now we can bring guys in training to be able to support you, because holistically from data we're able to see what kind of a customer you are and how you're trading with us, and then recommend you to partners that can help you even with skills and also other areas that could be important for the business.
Thank you so much, Victor. And I'm very excited that we'll be able to extend that offer to all the entrepreneurs in the room, for those especially that are in agribusiness, but also like Joylena in healthcare, that are selling medicines and so on, and in those who are retailers. Then we'll have the opportunity to help you to get more efficiency, let's say, in your logistics, in the way you supply, and then Absa could see actually the transaction and be able to finance you so that you can grow and sell more and pay back on time. So thank you so much, Victor, for that. And beyond the processes for operations, there is also a lot of processes you need to put in-house to structure not only our finances but also our human resources. And I would love to hear more about Joylena, about how Workpay can help and basically work as a human resource manager at somehow, because it's fully digital. And I know that for us at Melanin Capital, it really helped us to manage our payroll and manage also the leave, absences and so on for our employees. So maybe share a bit more about that, Joylena.
Workpay is a HR tech firm that has really focused on impact, especially on the employees. One of our core values is people first. So when you talk about impact from an automation perspective, because what you provide is a HR and payroll system end-to-end, accommodated with even a virtual wallet whereby you're able to pay your employees from a salary perspective. And I remember our CEO one time giving us an example of, think about you as a company running payroll, how many people are you impacting? So for example, I pay Melanie, she has maybe a house manager, she has probably maybe a security guard at the door, she has a parent at home, that she's gonna send money. So when you think about the chain of impact, it's actually very lengthy. So one of our biggest missions is that we want to make sure that you pay your employees on time, every time. And beyond that, I always say as a person that I will pay whatever I have to for convenience. As a small business, sometimes you think about it from a place of how do I manage my people? I need to bring on board a HR consultant. Oh my God, I need to block my day from the 15th to the 25th so that I run my payroll because I have casuals, I have this, I have that. But have you thought about automation? Have you thought about efficiency? Have you thought about cost saving? If you think about bringing on board a full-time HR person, of course, at this time and age, you're looking at spending at least 100,000 for say maybe 10 employees, 20 employees. But what we're telling you at Workpay is that you'll be able to use our HR and payroll system that is quite affordable. Melanin Capital can just attest to that. And it being software as a service, you only get to pay for what you use. So you have 5 employees, you're only going to pay for the 5. So when you're scaling up, you're growing to 10, you'll just pay for what you need. So our biggest goal is automation, streamline your processes and achieve efficiency, as you cut on your costs. To just quickly dive in a little bit more as well, as you speak about funding, as you speak about when you're looking for investors to come on board, one of the key things they'll also look at is your human capital. So you're telling me to fund your business. Do you have a team that is going to enable you to run your business? Do you have somebody who's going to support you in your operations, or as Beatrice said, you're the driver, you're the gatekeeper, you're everything, you're leaving your car to open the gates, and you're the one in the kitchen making the coffee. Have you thought about that particular process? And if you do not have that data on top of your head, of course you'd have to spend some more time. But if you use a platform that is that will enable you to manage all your employee biodata, then it becomes so much easier for you to do that. The other thing, when I spoke about us focusing on paying your employees all the time, every time, we have a virtual wallet. I know Melanie Capital is on board on that. And on the virtual wallet, you're able to process your company expenses, process your salaries, and we are in partnership with the banks from a perspective of just using the infrastructure to make sure that this amount of money is getting to the employees. And the biggest headache at this point is compliance for most businesses. Have you thought about, your statutory compliance? Have you thought about the housing levy that is coming up? Everybody's like, oh my God, they're gonna introduce new taxes. How am I going to compute that on my Excel? We at Workpay are committed to just ensure that all that is set up on your back end. And when you're running your payroll for August, of course, July is when you started deducting the housing levy. When you're running your payroll for August, for July, for September, you're just sure that your numbers are the way that they should look like. And if your investor tells you 1 minute, give me evidence that you've actually paid your statutories for the last 6 months, all you need to do is just pull a statement from Workpay and you'll be good to go. To add on the last thing, we also provide some financial services. We call them financial wellness services to our customers, but you have to be very keen on two things: accountability and integrity. Beatrice said that very clearly. If you keep dodging, we're not going to be able to support you. So if you're running your payroll through Workpay and you've been disbursing your salaries through Workpay for a period of 6 months, you can already tell this is the amount of money that you're able to put in. These are the people that you're paying. And when you're stuck, honestly, as a partner, as an advisor, I'll tell you, hey, we'll give you a 50% payroll financing so that your people are not stuck. Your employees will also have access to salary advance powered by Workpay, as long as it's something that they've already earned from a wage access perspective. So 2 things to just take away from Workpay: compliance and efficiency. And I know you're going to focus more on just a core business.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joylena. And I would like to announce that through the Men Capital Program and APSA, we are able to provide 3 months, free 3 months of the Workpay tool for all the entrepreneurs in the program. So for everyone who needs to manage their payroll, this is the solution.